This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
All right, there we go. Now we're live. Now it's just me and Tom on screen, but we have a special guest on the phone, Dr. Destruction himself. It's the Halloween season. It would be a Halloween show without the doctor himself. Dr. Destruction, how the heck are you?
Well, I'm enjoying a very planetary, star-lit moon kind of a night out at the Jerry Smith Pumpkin Farm. Lots of pumpkins everywhere and children enjoying the autumn fair. And, well, they're getting the life scared out of them inside the haunted manor tonight.
That's good. Yeah, you're running the haunted manor down at Jerry Smith's Pumpkin Farm. How many years have you been doing the haunted manor? It's been a long time.
Well, yeah, much longer than the actual horror hosting. Actually, it's nearly 30 years of haunting here. I haunted elsewhere, but I started counting when I started at Jerry's.
Wow, that's incredible. And you know, of course, you are Wisconsin's longest running horror host. How long has Crimson Theater been on the air?
We're about to hit the 20-year mark soon.
Wow.
Even though it was attempted in other forms early on with a show I had called Theater with Mortis or something with Mortis, but I had a corpse character mask, so it wasn't even a Dr. Destruction thing at all, and he was the host. And while stuff was shot for that show, it never got put together and was sabotaged basically by a born-again Christian type.
Oh my God.
That would have happened. That would have kicked it off already almost simultaneously with the haunting at the farm. But, you know, I mean, it wasn't like a lot of people were doing it at the time. So it was hard to really not feel discouraged.
Sure. Yeah.
To attempt it. I do see an angry mob of villagers with $10 bills in their hands, though. So you guys carry on without me for a bit.
All right.
No problem.
Well, Tom, how are you doing?
Doing good. Dr. Destruction is going to be somewhere at Halloween, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be at. Let me pull up this. I got the flyer right here at the little poster. Let's see if I can.
You might have to mute him as well.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how to mute him. He's on a Google chat. Is there a mute? Yeah, there's a mute. All right, there we go. You can hear him. I'm new. Google Voice is new, so let's see if I can get this up. Maybe.
I still hear him.
You still hear him?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he can't. I don't know. All right.
Kind of a busy poster, but we are going to be at the Avalon doing a movie premiere for Danny Villanueva's I Dream of a Psychopomp.
Yeah, that is a busy poster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can zoom in on it. There you go. That's what you want to focus on right there. Right? Halloween Bash and Film. Yeah, the Milwaukee premiere of I Dream of a Psychopomp, Danny Villanueva's feature debut at the historic Avalon Theater. Of course, we're going to have a costume contest too before that. You know what the costume contest, right? Oh,
we just picked our costumes today.
This is an official announcement of the prize.
Hello there. I'm back.
Hello. We're going over our Danny's premiere, what we're going to do for the costume contest. This is the prize. This is a little care package from Blumhouse Films. I have no idea what's in there. I think these are games. What I'm hearing is they're games, different kind of games.
Okay, now that you said you don't know what's in there, the winner announced that the winner has to open it up there.
I'm curious.
So I know what's in there.
I want to know what's in there. I've other people have gotten these on my friends list, and I think they're games. I don't know for sure. It's heavy. It's a heavy box. That's all that I do know. There's something in there. So make sure you come out on Halloween, October 31st, to the Avalon Theater. You will also get to meet and get your picture taken with Dr. Destruction himself. Isn't that right, Doctor?
That sounds like a great time. Photo ops, and I want everyone out there, the ladies anyway, to know that Dr. Destruction is an eligible bachelor. I mean, and he needs a date on October 31st. So Just keep that in mind.
That's right. Yeah.
Does that
What
matter?
do you want?
That is
Around
doesn't go
35, brunette, has her own house.
Tom, you're not qualified, so don't even try.
Oh my God.
Nope.
Speaking of that, we have a new promo out for VPod TV. You can catch Crimson Theater every Saturday night at 10 p.m. on VPod TV 59.3 in the Chicagoland area and Peoria. We always have to say Peoria. I don't know why, but Peoria is important apparently in Illinois. And I've heard that you can catch it upwards in Milwaukee if you have a good enough antenna. Definitely Kenosha, Racine, that area. Doc, how do you feel about being on VPod TV down over in the Kenosha?
It's great. I'm starting to get some feedback. I'm getting some fan mail now. People actually really like the show. I don't know. I'm surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be, but they're enjoying it, and that's great to be. I mean, how long do I have to be on down there to actually be considered part of Chicago television history? Has it been long enough yet?
I don't know. Well, it's been a year. It's been a year.
I
think we're celebrating our year, aren't we? It's been about a year.
Yeah, coming up. Now, I don't know if you knew or not, but the Ghoul from the Cleveland area, Ron Sweet, who took over for Ghoulardi, who started in '63 in Cleveland, and then the Ghoul took over. The Ghoul was on in Chicago, actually on Channel 32 for a while. And what happened was he came on, and I guess he was ripping on the original Svengoolie or whatnot. And he didn't last long on Chicago television.
I can't imagine.
No, he didn't. It wasn't long before they got Cause to take over. But believe it or not, as ironic as that sounds, that they would have a Cleveland host in Chicago. But of course, he got rejected there immediately. I mean, we're dissing the original Svengoolie on top of it. And it was just too radical of a change since everybody grew up in the Chicagoland area. And at that point, and even most recently, most people think of a lot of the cities think their host is the only host. And it was very rare for other horror hosts to go off into, other markets,
Right.
Of course, Rich Coase turned around and got in everybody's market across the country. So that's kind of something that he's kind of gone where no host has gone before.
Yeah. Do you see that as a good thing though?
Well, I guess it makes the platform of horror hosting brought to everybody's doorstep, and just so they, if they get into it, I hope they get into the history, or they just take it for face value what it is. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just it was just a silly late night art form that the news guy would do for extra money back in the day, which now has, of course, become popular with the internet, and people wanting to keep that tradition alive that way and doing it on the internet. They don't have a network, so they don't have the rules. They don't have a paycheck in many cases. But nevertheless, it's sort of this thing that is definitely kept alive. And I have a huge amount of admiration and respect for one individual, Dick Dizell, who is Count Gordeval, who was on Channel 20 in Washington, D.C., pretty much through the 70s. And once the people went off the air and whatnot, he lost his job. Basically, he did everything at the station, but he was determined to keep it going and started streaming his horror host show when it was dial-up. He was figuring out how to do it. It used to be in like 3 parts.
Oh wow!
So he's a person once that this was actually getting a paycheck for this, and then when he decided that. When they decided the station was going to go down, he kept it going on his own. I think that's really pretty incredible right there. But of course, as we know, it survived on the internet and public access. And now with so many over-the-air television stations coming back, we're going to see a resurgence there too. There's one grumpy host. I can't even remember his name. Not that I'd want to name him, but he was declaring, and never say never, because he declared that no host was ever going to be over the air again on television. And of course, that's really not the case. So. Right.
Yeah. Well, Joe Bob Briggs came back. I don't know if Joe Bob would be considered a horror host, maybe, but
Well, no, actually, yes, I would say so. Joe Bob Briggs and John Stanley and the guy that, what was it? I can't actually remember his name. The guy that came before John Stanley. But those guys all started out as not wearing any makeup at all, like Joe Bob Briggs. And of course, there was Chilly Billy too. And Chilly Billy said, well, you know, they had all these different guys in makeup. He says, I got to just do it. I got to just be myself. So he just was another horror host that never wore any makeup. And so is Big Chuck and Houlihan, and then Little John and Big Chuck. Those guys never wore any makeup either. So there is this, there is a thing like Joe Bob. They're They're definitely horror hosts. So one time that Joe Bob did wear some makeup, and it was really, he really tapped into something, because he showed the Fearless Vampire Killers, and he dressed like a vampire, but he was in his lawn chair he was in his lawn chair with his camper behind him, and it was snowing. He was dressed in vampire makeup, and he was sitting next to a Christmas tree or something like that. And I don't know. I don't know if you ever knew the connection that I got, but when I was a little kid, they showed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the animated show, and they showed Fearless Vampire Killers afterwards, immediately afterwards.
Wow.
And of course, you know, you might mistake the castle in the Fearless Vampire Killers for being set in the North Pole, because it's the only vampire movie where I've seen that they had, the castle was set and it was snow on the ground. So it looked like the North Pole. But yeah, Joe Bob Briggs definitely is a horror host. I think he'd consider himself that.
Well,
and,
is it a big deal
Bob
not to have
Wilson
makeup?
was on. And there was also Marvin in Chicago. Didn't wear any makeup, but he looked like a cross between Christopher Lee and a beatnik with some sunglasses.
I gotta look that up now. Of course, on the phone with us is Dr. Destruction, on location at Dr. Smith, or Dr. Smith. Come on,
Dr. Jerry farm. I've never
Jerry
acknowledged
Smith.
whether or not Dr. Smith was a relative.
Dr. Destruction's Haunted Manor at Jerry Smith's Pumpkin Farm down in Kenosha. You know, I asked this question on Facebook. Are there any movie? Of course, you know, people like you, people like me, maybe Tom. I don't know. We watch horror movies all year round. Are there any movies you have to watch during the Halloween season that really help put you in the mood for Halloween? What are your must-watch horror films?
Well, I mean, there's plenty. Any of the Universal classics, of course. But I'd have to suggest one, Curse of the Demon. Quite interesting. It's an older flick, and it's basically not what you might expect from a movie called Curse of a Demon. There genuinely is a demon in there, and there's a part of the movie where it's actually Halloween party is taking place. Not the kind of Halloween party you would think, though. But I think that would be a good one to get in the mood for the holiday. Of course, you know, anything like Nightmare Before Christmas, I suppose, and any the Universal classics, the Hammer horror films. I mean, there's so many out there.
Right.
Definitely the classics.
Yeah, of course, you're a big fan of Godzilla. Did you want to talk a little bit about Godzilla? I know you always mention Shin Godzilla. What is it about Shin Godzilla that makes it such a good Godzilla movie?
I think it taps back to the original idea of the horror of Godzilla and what that was supposed to be, because pretty much after the first Godzilla film, he's battling another monster, and once it turned into that, it becomes sort of it's kind of like pro wrestling. We all love it, but it's not the same thing as a Godzilla straight up horror film. The first one was trying to attempt at being. Shin Godzilla kind of brings it back to that. The only weird parallel Shin Godzilla has to any other Godzilla film is probably Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. But it's just horrible. He's horrible, and it's a horrible thing. And they bring back that, I don't know, that vibe to it. But the movie itself, what I like about the movie itself is the movie's kind of long, but for me, right out of the get-go, it's developing the human characters as well as the monsters simultaneously in different shots. And the director takes time for certain things that I think really add to the realism of the film. One is Godzilla stomps a train. The train goes flying through the air, and then starts skidding down like the road in the city, and then the wheels that have become detached roll up behind it and stop. That little thing right there, I think, just adds a sense of realism. But overall, was all done completely with CGI, which I'm not a fan of.
Right.
But the director managed to really control that and bring the heaviness of it and not let the CGI take over the direction of the film. So I think that's one of the strengths of Shin Godzilla, plus the score, which featured not only the original Akira Ifukube soundtracks from several of the Toho features, but a lot of brand new music that just seemed like a great continuation. I mean, to bring some new music and then have to run that against the classic of Akira Ifukube, that must have been a challenge in itself. So the whole thing, I love the soundtrack, I love the movie, the whole point. My only problem with Shin Godzilla is we're not getting any sign of a sequel, and you can't leave a cliffhanger like that and just leave it. I suppose if you did, that adds to the weirdness of the film. Shin Godzilla was the first movie that I saw in a theater on a big screen. That's a new release of a Japanese Godzilla movie. The first one that I've seen on a big screen since Godzilla 2000 came out.
Wow. Tom, are you a Godzilla fan?
Besides independent theater kind of stuff.
Yeah. Are you a Godzilla fan, Tom?
I just recognize, Godzilla's better than King Kong. I accept it.
Okay. All right. Of course, Godzilla. Correct me if I'm wrong.
If you light a match too, never mind.
Yeah. Now you got to that. Now that sounded like a good setup for a dad joke because
Well, we're just going to ask if does that mean when Tom breathes, if we light a match, there might be an explosion?
Some nights, maybe.
When Shin Godzilla comes into my room at night and craps into my mouth, I usually sleep through it.
All right. Well,
does
that happen a lot? Tom?
Anyway, that's just the Shin, which is its own unique animal, and like I said, trying to get it back to the scariness of the first one, that it was really a horrible thing, and it was in a way it was sort of a result of Hiroshima.
Right.
So and it's amazing that just 8 short years after World War II, you have this monster movie about this horrible thing happened in Japan with a monster, and the symbolism and all between that. I mean, the director wanted his head to look like a mushroom cloud, and then even more crazy than that is the fact that it ends up in theaters in America. Of course, they added Raymond Burr to added Raymond Burr. That was a buffer. That movie couldn't have played in America that soon after World War II without Raymond Burr in it. So,
of course, Godzilla was an allegory to the nuclear bombs that America dropped on Japan. It played up those fears of.
And some of the testing that was done there. So, who knows? Maybe there's some truth in fact. Another good Godzilla movie is Godzilla versus King Ghidorah from 1991, where it actually shows Godzilla, the dinosaur, before he got nuked. Okay, I might have to take a short break here.
Okay.
To deal with the angry villagers coming to me with the torches, or maybe they don't have torches.
All right. Well,
I thought they had torches. They don't have torches. I'm not worried.
As long as they have fistfuls of dollars, that'd be okay.
Right.
So, Tom, you guys have any big Halloween plans aside from the Halloween bash on October 31st? I got nothing going on.
That's pretty much, I think, our only thing we're going to worry about.
You said you picked up costumes?
Yes, Molly and I do have our costumes.
You're going to keep them on the hush-hush until the day of?
I think we can say we'll do it. I'm going as Gaston, and she's going as Belle.
Why don't you use it?
Okay. If she went as the Beast, I think it would be better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Molly's not watching. There's nobody watching right now. We have a big fat goose egg. I was gonna go as there's a band called Priest, and the main singer dresses as a priest with the priest shirt and everything and a coat, and he's got a leather gimp mask on. And I shopped for a leather gimp mask, and I put this on Facebook, but it's really hard to get a leather gimp mask by mail quickly. It takes like 2 months to get to your place. Right? Yeah. Who knew? Right? Gimp masks are really hard to find. I think if I really wanted it, I suppose I could go to an adult bookstore. There's one on Green. No, I don't know.
Yeah, they're all over.
They're all over, but I don't know. But yeah, I'll figure something out.
You want to borrow mine?
I was thinking about it, but there's that smell I'm just not comfortable with.
No.
Did I tell you?
Got a little morning breath.
Did I ever tell you the story when I went paranormal investigating? One of my first paranormal investigations was at this woman's. It was me and another new guy, just the two of us. Found out later why nobody else wanted to go, but we were excited. We went. This single mother living in an apartment in a kind of a seedy part of Milwaukee. She was experiencing all kinds of crazy stuff, hearing things. Toilet was flushing by itself. She was seeing shadow people. Me and Andy, the other guy, we arrived at like 10 o'clock at night, set up our equipment, cameras, voice recorders, all that, all over the apartment. And what we did, we did like EVP, electronic voice phenomena. We did EVP sessions in every room. We did the living room. We did the kids' room. We did like the hallway. It was a small apartment, so we didn't have a lot to do. And then we did the woman's bedroom. Everything is completely dark. It's paranormal investigation. It's at night. Everything's dark. We've got our UV flashlights. We always just look with the UV flashlight, because UV flashlight, any bodily fluid, it's going to light up, right? So we always look where we sit, just if there's rat piss or dog, cat piss, whatever. So we look. Everything looks clear. I'm sitting on the edge of this lady's bed, and Andy's sitting like in the doorway between the hallway and the lady's bedroom. He's just sitting in the doorway. And we start our EVP session, is there anybody here? This kind of stuff. But a couple minutes in, I start getting this whiff of the smell. Like it's a weird, like rotten smell, right? Like almost like rotting flesh, but more rubbery. And I click on my UV flashlight and I just start looking around the room, and this lady's closet door was open, and on the back she had this apparatus that was hanging that had all these dildos and whips and masks and strap-ons hanging off, and that thing lit up like a Christmas tree under my UV flashlight. And we concluded the investigation. We went into the hallway where she had her medicine chest, and there were all kinds of antipsychotic medicines, and that's why her house was haunted.
Yeah, well, that should be your first thing.
Oh, yeah, sounds like you're gonna win the costume contest with that get up.
I hope so. It's a cool prize. I hope I do. I don't know. Tom is going as Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, so he might win.
Yeah.
Molly's going as the Beast. I mean, no, she's not the Beast. She's going as Belle. So are you supposed to like sexually harass her all night then?
Yes.
All right.
It's going to be awesome. It's like right into my wheelhouse.
All right. I see why. All right. On the phone is Dr. Destruction down at the Jerry Smith Pumpkin Farm. The Haunted Manor is it's been kind of a rainy season this year, hasn't it, Doctor?
Well, that happens. I mean, yeah, it's been rainy. They're still coming out. There's a bunch of people out here today. They'll come out in the rain. I mean, and then there's been a whole lot of straight up Halloween moments, vibes. Doesn't always involve a bunch of people in there. That's just things that happen that are part of the season and part of the vibe.
For sure,
It's different when you're open when you're open 7 days a week. It's different than a lot of other places.
Yeah, of course, rain or shine, the haunted house is open. And I think, this kind of weather adds a little bit of creepiness, to the Halloween season. It adds it has an element. I like this kind of weather. I don't like it real hot, don't like it real cold. This is the perfect time of season for me.
Well, yeah, the autumn weather is, it's comical in a way because we get that cold snap, and then we feel like it's cold, and we feel like it's autumn, and we feel like Halloween, and then it just gets way colder after that, and you realize, God, it was nice out.
Yeah, right.
It was nice out in October, but we thought it was cold.
Yeah, I know, right? We have about a month of, I think, perfect weather here in southeast Wisconsin. Of course, they say if you don't like the weather, well, you're not living in Wisconsin. I don't know. Okay. They don't actually say. They don't actually say that. I don't know why. That's dumb. On the phone is Dr. Destruction down at the Jerry Smith Pumpkin Farm. The Haunted Manor is open. How long are you guys open at night?
Till 8 o'clock. It's it's an early show.
Okay. And on weekends?
Weekends it's 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we get a lot of people out there, and people are like, well, we want to wait till it's dark out. Well, guess what? There's plenty of darkness in there in the broad daylight. And then the lights that we have out here makes it almost like daylight anyway. So it's not really a matter whether or not it's dark out for it to be scary.
Yeah. Of course, you have a real haunted bus that people go through at the manor. You want to explain the bus?
Well, you see, it's kind of strange that this bus was out here at the farm, and it kept moving around different places. And, you know, they didn't know if somebody was messing with them up. It might have been, you know, like that Mel Gibson movie Signs. But their signals, whatever. And then the last time it was out on all the way out on a highway somewhere. So they took the motor out of it and made it the haunted bus. But it's definitely got a vibe about it. We hear noises out of there. I believe the Racine Paranormal Investigators were out here, and they couldn't get anything on their equipment because the batteries went dead.
I was going to say, yeah, I was there, and, you know, I charge my camera batteries every time I do something, and my battery drained within 5 minutes, and I've never, ever had that happen to me. So that was definitely...
Well, it's always one thing or another, but, you know, nothing bad has happened to anyone due to the haunting, but there's definitely a vibe. There's a vibe about that bus like any other, not like any other. And there's 3 other buses, and so I guess sort of the history of all that, the tradition of people remember back things with the haunted bus that I know didn't happen in my time here. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Chris, I know you took some mysterious pictures with the haunted bus too.
I do. Yeah. I'm actually still going through those. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I took pictures and video. We got a lot of audio. Still pouring through all of that, but yeah, the camera, the battery dying I've never had that. I mean, I've been a filmmaker for over 20 years, and I've never had that happen to me before. Heard about that happening to other people, and I always thought, oh, you're full of shit. You just didn't charge your battery. Well, no, it happened to me. So definitely very, very strange. Anyway, Dr. Destruction is on the phone with us once again. Jerry Smith, Pumpkin Farm, Haunted Manor. October 31st, we have a giant Halloween bash, Milwaukee premiere of Danny Villanueva Jr.'s I Dream of a Psychopomp, which actually has a cameo in it by an actor named Reinhold von Bolt.
How about that guy, huh? He stole the film.
He stole the film. He's got the creepiest scene, and I hear he might be in another film too. I don't know. I was talking to Danny.
Well, that the character of what was that character's name? Gabriel. Gabriel might have a comeback. So we'll see what happens. You never know.
I might have some inside information, and I told Danny that I would like to be Gabriel's scene partner in something. Maybe Gabriel can stab me or something. I don't know. Drink my blood. Something crazy.
Well, Gabriel was pretty evil character there, so there's all kinds of fun that can be had with that. But I mean, we could really tap into, you know, Gabriel's medieval heritage back in Romania, how he was destined to become a vampire. Maybe he deceived the other vampire. I don't know.
Maybe I can see a Gabriel prequel.
But film. Yeah, come out and see I Dream of Psychopomp. It's quite a different version of a anthology. I mean, it has a lot of things in there that are just incredible, that are I can almost now say signature Danny Villanueva Jr. Trademarks, having worked with him before.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, hold on a second. I have a willing victim here.
All right.
It's gonna make that money.
Couple victims. Well, how many victims do we have? 2 victims. Just hold on for a second.
Yeah, Danny is an excellent filmmaker. He's a Racine, Kenosha area filmmaker, and I think you're going to hear that name one day in Hollywood.
It already sounds famous.
It does. Danny Villanueva Jr.
Yeah, that just sounds.
It's probably because of Denny Villeneuve. No, Denny Villeneuve. It's not Villeneuve. It's Denny Villeneuve.
The lights are on. Everything's fine. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh yeah, we're here.
Oh, okay. I don't have a visual thing going on, but yeah, a couple of willing victims just entered the haunted manor on a Thursday night. What are the other haunters work on the weekends doing right now? Like sitting around eating pizza, watching Michael Myers movies, waiting for Friday.
Just
you know, I mean, you got to do it 7 days a week. I mean, what are you doing? What do you do with your October? I mean, if you're a haunter and, you're one of these part-time haunters, you know what I'm saying?
If you guys are watching, get to work. Come on, the doc is shaming you now.
That's funny. But that's kind of true too, because once you do every night and you're outside every night doing it, I don't know, it becomes really more of a ritual, more of a, October. There's a subtlety to it that I think is missed probably by, the big rush on the weekend and the, haunted houses and pro wrestling are kind of similar these days, aren't they?
I can see that. Yeah.
So, I'm just saying with the lights and hype, but I don't know what I'm saying.
How long do you do that? Like, when do you start and when do you end the season?
We started the season September 18th, so I've been here every day. And what's today? The 14th?
14th.
So what, we got like 15 days coming now, because I won't be. I'm not. The Haunted Manor will not be open due to the fact that Trick or Treat will commence, and of course the Halloween party at the Avalon.
So that's the end of it. Halloween Day, no Dr. D at the Pumpkin Farm.
October 30th will be the last day. Saturday, yeah.
If you come here on November 1st, you won't see anything. It'll all be gone. Like overnight.
So
until next September.
But that's it. It ends. It really, when you start to get to the end of Halloween, and Halloween really is the people's holiday. So
yeah,
you have Trick or Treat, and you have people, adult costume parties, which will happen on the 30th. But Trick or Treat is the proverbial nail in the coffin. Once that day comes, no one's coming to the haunt, and everyone's going to go trick or treating, decorate their yards, the whole thing. And once that's over, it's done. End of story. Go. I mean, some of them they stay open. I like the idea of thinking about being open for a Christmas thing and do the Krampus theme, but I don't know. Yeah. For us out here, that's it.
Yeah. If you were ever wondering when Gypsy season in, it's September 18th to November 1st.
Well, it's been never been November 1st, but November 6th there's a big party in Kenosha.
Oh yes,
that's right. Yeah, the Dorian Gray Art Show.
Dorian Gray Art Show, Guy Fawkes Night, Day of the Dead, and Halloween all rolled into one.
Yeah, of course, you're having that. You're having that with keeping in mind to have a party for all the haunters that work during the Halloween season. This is kind of their time to celebrate Halloween, celebrate that time of the season.
Well, a lot of people that are in the industry can come out. They can got a party for themselves. Plus, it is Day of the Dead, Guy Fawkes Night, which I wish would get celebrated more in America because it's just fun. And Krampus has gotten popular. Folklore of Europe, so, Guy Fawkes Night, you've got the costumes, you got fireworks.
Yeah, for sure. Tom, do you have a Guy Fawkes mask?
No, I've only seen it one time. It's one of Molly's favorite movies.
Oh, V.
What are you talking about? You saw one time.
The movie V for Vendetta.
That's loosely based. I guess it's pretty much based on the Guy Fawkes thing, but it's its own sort of superhero entity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a Guy Fawkes.
If you ever seen pictures of Guy Fawkes Night in Britain, it's crazy, really.
Yeah,
sort of like Halloween, a Renaissance fair, and 4th of July all mixed together.
Sounds awesome.
Party, yeah. That does sound like a party. I think that the doctor should organize something like that.
I don't know. I wonder if that would catch on. Which I'm not surprised considering the popularity of V the Vendetta, and then of course Anonymous using that mask for so many of their memes.
Well, I don't know. Now, if you do something like that, they might think you're some computer hacker and call the police.
Exactly. I mean, the way it is today, that's been adapted so that if you're a computer hacker, what is that? Is that changing what the Guy Fawkes was? I mean, Guy Fawkes might have been a computer hacker if he had a computer back then.
Yeah, maybe I can see that.
Right.
I don't know, Tom.
That movie had some good parts about it. That was for sure. It was well done.
Yeah, I like Hugo Weaving. I think he's a good actor. And I thought he was pretty good. He was original. They started filming that with a different actor in that role, and Hugo Weaving came on later. And some of the scenes that
so are you telling me the guy with the mask was played by two different people?
Yeah, it was
in the film. In the film,
yeah, they had one actor play that character, and they shot a bunch of it in costume, and then Hugo Weaving came on to replace it, and then they shot the rest of them when he was out of the mask or voiceover.
Well, I have to pay attention to that because I thought for a character that's wearing a mask, not unlike Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, who are pretty much they are pretty stiff in their roles compared to the fluidity that the guy in the mask review that Vendetta had. I mean, he really had body motion going along with being in the mask, which is something you don't see from those other characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know there's a new Halloween movie coming out. I think I could go see that today if I wanted to.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's I think early screenings are today, and it opens officially tomorrow. I'm going to a movie tomorrow, but I'm not going to see Halloween Kills. I'm actually going to go see The Last Duel. I was really looking forward to seeing that. That's about the French duel, the last French duel, last official French duel. It's that true story with Ridley Scott. I guess not a lot of Americans know the story, but they will after they see the movie. It's an awesome story. But I'm not really excited to see the new Halloween movie. I don't know. I want to see something original, something new.
I never was excited. I'm one of them guys. The Rob Zombie ones were the best ones, and that was because they were Rob Zombie movies until he had ultimately it becomes a Halloween movie, and then that's the downfall of it. And the rest of them, the original series, that never stuck with me in the first place. I never, actually, I kind of thought that this brought it into a different level where, there's a trust of going trick-or-treating, having fun and everything like that. And Halloween and Michael Myers brings it into reality with a human, human serial killer defiling the holidays. So that's not really my idea of Halloween at all.
Yeah, I like Rob Zombie's Halloween. I like the first one. The second one I liked less, but I really liked what he did with Halloween. I really, really like Rob Zombie's view on horror. I think he really gets horror. I didn't like Lords of Salem, but I rewatched it not long ago, and now I love that movie. Now that I saw it a second time, it's a much better experience.
Haunted House, yes. Hold on a second, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Tom, have you seen any of the Rob Zombie movies?
I saw them both in the theater, the Halloween movies, and then the House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff like that. But,
House of a Thousand Corpses I really liked. That House of a Thousand Corpses was the only movie I ever wrote a letter to my local theater chain, Marcus Theaters, and asked them to play a film. Because Rob asked the fans to write their theaters, so I wrote a letter, and sure enough, Marcus played it. It did really well for him too, from what I understand. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
You get any cut of the cheese peeled off for you for bringing it in? No. See, I'll be the idea man. I'll just mail you what movies should be in there.
There you go. I'll let Marcus know, and we'll get on it. Of course, on the phone once again is Dr. Destruction at Dr. Destruction's Haunted Manor, host of Crimson Theater. You helped film this past Monday over down in Kenosha.
Yeah, we were having a good time.
Did you get a chance to see that promo that we cut?
Yes. Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah. I like Bones. I like the new co-host.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. Just waiting for him to come out screaming.
Yep.
Like that kid on Monday.
There were a couple kids on Monday that really enjoyed the haunted house, and I think the parents enjoyed it because just one of them didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Halloween we weren't there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Molly, Tom's
live
at Jerry Smith Pumpkin Farm.
Live happening now. You guys could be there.
You could, yeah. They're open for another 20 minutes. 10 minutes? What time is it?
Yep.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to be for Halloween, Molly.
I'm still here.
All right. Do you have some our customers?
Yes, we had victims. I got to radio those guys. I turned the other radio off. Breaker 19, there's some young family members heading on into the haunted manor. Be ready.
Molly doesn't know what she's going to be for Halloween?
Get on that grave train.
The Brave Train.
Yeah.
That train there, that was a very loud chainsaw.
I forgot we may do something different, but that was our first idea. Gaston and Belle.
Now you're going to do something different? Oh, come on.
I forgot that we might.
Okay. All right.
But we'll see.
You got several options.
She doesn't want to go as Adam and Eve. I thought it would be fine. I'll finally dress with less than you because I'll only be wearing one leaf.
You're just a one leaf kind of guy.
And then she can have the three. And then we'll be Adam and Eve. And she didn't.
I don't know. I might need 2 leaves. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Molly blames Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Tom and Molly went shopping in Illinois. That's all we'll say about that. Doctor, what film? Doctor, what film are we going to have on Crimson Theater this week?
I am back with you.
All right. What film are we going to have on Crimson Theater this week?
What's on Crimson Theater this weekend?
What's on Crimson Theater this weekend?
So it's a hodgepodge collage of total 50s garbage, and that would be Robot Monster. I guess if you're really short for a robot monster, you get a diver's helmet bell and put it on a gorilla suit.
Yeah.
And you got a movie. I don't know. I'd like to take a chance at directing something. I've been thinking about it. Robot Monster can come out, I'm
going to put Robot Monster on the screen here because put
Robot Monster up on the screen because it is the 1950s was an interesting time for a lot of low budget 50s sci-fi UFO movies coming out, and my guess is that a lot of the studio old school cameras and equipment, maybe you can testify to this, those were being sold and made available to low budget directors. A lot of secondhand equipment that they made these drive-in crazy movies with. Something you go to the drive-in and see or whatnot. But people eat this stuff up. I mean, they love it no matter how bad it is.
That is the robot. That really is an ape costume with like a diver's bell on it. That's
what it looks like. Yeah. And yeah, there you go. I mean, some people believe, who knows? Maybe there is a planet up there in the universe somewhere that, in fact, they have gorilla bodies and robot heads that look like diving bells. I mean, could happen, right?
It could happen.
It's an infinite universe.
Yeah.
But we've got one for you this week on VPod TV 59.3, 10 p.m. Saturday. In the Chicagoland area, which, like I said before, am I now part of Chicago television history, which is, in a minor way, I suppose. And it's an entertaining thought considering I grew up on Chicago television as a kid. So why not?
After all these years, do you have to redo videos, or are there enough old horror movies out there?
There's definitely enough copies of my Crimson Theater television show so that I actually would never have to do another show for 20 years, basically, almost, before I'd have a different one to make a new show.
YouTube, there's a lot of episodes of Crimson Theater on YouTube. And from what I hear...
that hasn't even scratched the surface.
Yeah, from what I understand, the newest season of Crimson Theater will be on YouTube some point in the near future when that producer gets his lazy butt in gear and uploads all of those.
Well, he's a busy guy. Did you see this guy on social media? I mean, he's doing all kinds of stuff.
I know that's in the works. I know that's in the works. That'll happen sometime very, very soon.
He's got podcasts going on. He's got, Planet Fitness.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Tom, you're going to be a regular in Crimson Theater coming up soon. Did you measure your cranium?
It's 7 1/4.
Before we could measure his cranium, we had to bring him. We're going to bring him to the laboratory here at the Haunted Manor and do a proper cranium cast to see. And there's, once you make the shape of someone's head out of duct tape and plastic,
yeah,
it changes everything.
I know, Tom. You told Tom, I just want to wrap a plastic garbage bag on your head and wrap it with tape.
Yeah,
that's all I need. That's a true artist. That's all you need. That's an artist, and you can make a Frankenstein head out of that.
Well, I'm making a Frankenstein head right now. I probably should send you a picture, huh?
I'd like to see that.
I mean, some people have kitchens where, they're preparing massive dinners. Mine, I'm making a Frankenstein head for a display out here if we get to that point.
We have to think of a character for Molly, though. Molly needs to get on this. I don't know if she can be the bride.
Molly would also like a not speaking role.
Molly would like a not speaking role. She was good in the promo that we just shot. That was a non-speaking.
Yeah.
Dungeon sex slave.
There you go.
She'd
Gimp mask.
Well, I told you about the Gimp mask. I tried to order.
It's going to take a while.
And those things
fly.
It take a couple months to get to you.
Well, then we better put them just on order it now.
Order it now, or find a special store. That's all.
How much longer does this podcast to go on?
We can
wrap call you back.
We can wrap it up. It's been about as long as we usually go. So, all right,
I don't want to cut you short. It's just there's things I have to do now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't worry. No, thank you for giving us time.
Yeah, Dr. Destruction.
No, it was great. I wish I had more time to talk. We're getting near closing time here, and there are certain rituals that must be done before we're done.
Yeah. Head on down to the Jerry Smith Pumpkin Farm in Summers, Wisconsin.
All right.
All right.
Oh boy.
Thanks, Doc.
Right. Thanks, Dr. D. See you soon.
All right. Hey, Joe. All right. Yeah. Dr. Destruction's Haunted Manor down in Summers, Wisconsin, just outside Kenosha. Is it in? I don't know if it's in Kenosha. I don't know. It's in Summers. I don't know what the address is.
It's close enough.
You can Google it. Hey, Joe. The Joe Mark shows the Insane Asylum is here. I was just on them. I forgot that I was going to be on their show. I'm sorry, guys. And then Tom reminded me. And I said, "Oh, Jesus, I double booked myself." So we brought them down to the pumpkin farm, to the manor with me, because the show must go on.
God, that fly's been bugging me this whole time. It must be my Shin Godzilla breath.
There you go. Yeah,
that it's coming for.
There you go. All right. Well, I guess that's all we have time for this week. We'll have a guest on next week. I have a couple of ideas. Of course, if there's any guests that you'd like to have on, if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, get in touch with us. It was it was a fun show, Joe. Thank you. I'd love to come back anytime. Anytime you need a guest, somebody cancels on you last minute, let me know. I'll come on.
No matter where he is, he just proved it.
Yeah, I can go mobile. I proved it. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.